Hello everyone. In this video, I'll talk about a powerful tool in TensorFlow or Keras which is called as callbacks. So without wasting any further time, let's get started by importing the necessary modules. Before we jump on to demonstrate the power of callbacks, let me first generate some data and show you what our input and output values are. So I have defined a variable called as x which has numbers from 0 till 6. The next thing that I do is I define a variable called as y, which is equal to 2 times the x value plus a value of 5. So essentially I want a regression task in place wherein my x values range between 0 to 6 and my y values range between 2 times x plus 5. So let me run this cell. Let me show you the content of y. So this is the array that I have right now, which is 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15 and 17. So essentially my input values range between 0 to 6 and correspondingly for those input values, my y values are between 5 to 17. Let me go forward and show you the scatter plot that I have between x and y. So let me run this cell. As you can clearly see from the scatter plot, as we increase the x values, the y values increase. And if I have to write down the equation of the line, then it would be y equal to 2x plus 5. So essentially my slope is 2 and my intercept or the bias term is 5. I want to realize this linear regression equation using a neural network. So the way I would do that is I would create an instance of the class sequential and assign it to a variable called as model. The next thing that I would do is I would add a dense layer which has output 1 as well as the input to be equal to 1, and I will apply a linear activation function. The next thing that I do is I create an instance of the Adam optimizer and I define the learning rate to be equal to 0.1. Following the practice of compiling the model, after you have defined the structure for the model, I go on to define the optimizer, which is the Adam optimizer. I define the loss and matrix to be equal to mean squared error. So let me run this cell. Now if you want to catch hold of the initial values of the slope as well as the intercept term, the way you would do that is by calling the function get underscore weights. This section of the array is essentially the weight vector that we have, and this section of the value that I have is basically the bias term or the intercept term. Now you might be wondering, why am I creating a neural network and not talking about what the video is about? Well, let me come back to what the video is about. Well, the video is about callbacks. So what exactly are callbacks? A callback is a powerful tool to customize the behavior of a Keras or a TensorFlow model during training, evaluation, or inference. There are different ways in which you can utilize the callbacks. I just wanted to demonstrate the power of callbacks by utilizing it in a very simple yet very powerful application, that is catching hold of weights after every epoch. These weights are not only restricted to the actual slope values but also to the intercept values. Firstly, I have defined two lists which are empty. So the next thing that I've done is I've created a class called as get underscore model underscore weights, wherein I've passed in the TensorFlow's default callback. And inside this class, I've created a function called as on underscore epoch underscore end. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm catching hold of the weight values from the model at that particular epoch and saving it into a variable called as slope and bias. If you remember accurately, the values of your weights were in form of an array. So I'll have to use indexing in order to get the actual value. So in case of slope, I'll have to go two places inside in order to catch hold of the value. That is where I have 0 and 0 in square brackets. In case of the bias, I just have to reference it using one square bracket. That is what I've done here. So essentially after every epoch, I'll be calling this callback function, saving the value of the weight values as well as the intercept term, and then appending those values into the corresponding list that I've created. What we'll do out of that is we'll later visualize how the weights have changed as well as how the intercept have changed with time. So let me run this cell in order to include this in memory. The next thing that I do is I've defined the callback function. I've defined the structure of the neural network that I've created. Now is the time to fit the training data. So the way I would do that is by passing in the values x and y. I specify the total number of epochs to be equal to 300. I don't want to see output after every epoch, so that is why I've set verbose equal to false. And if you notice something carefully here, the last part of the function call is something called as callbacks, equated to a list of callback. So this is where I've defined the callback, and this callback essentially calls the get underscore model underscore weights class that is there. So essentially after every epoch end, I'll catch hold of the weight and the intercept terms and append the values to the corresponding list values. So let me run this cell. So the training is complete. Let's go forward and now visualize the overall slope value change with respect to epoch. So let me run this. If you recollect, the equation of the line was y equal to 2x plus 5. So essentially my value of the slope term should be equal to 2. As you can clearly see, the weight values start off with a very small value, which was the value at initialization. They reach up to a very high value around 3.2, 3.3. Then the value starts decreasing, and after close to 300 epochs, I am able to reach the optimum value. Let's also plot the bias value. So again, let me repeat, the equation of the line was y equal to 2x plus 5. Initially, the bias was initialized at 0. So with every epoch, it kept on increasing. And by the end of 300 epochs, it was able to reach at the optimum value, which is 5. So this was a small demo that I planned in order to show you the capabilities of how you can smartly use callbacks in your overall workflow when you create TensorFlow or Keras models. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do like the content that I post on my channel, it would be really helpful if you can press the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to be notified for future amazing videos on data science and machine learning. Thank you so much for watching the video.